2.3k ZvZ. I get the feeling we're Prince. That overlord scouting pattern is really bad in a ZvZ. That is really bad. Because that, what's that overlord scouting for? He's not gonna. Nah, dude. No, absolutely not. So your overlord should be about here-ish by now. Instead, it's over here, finding nothing. None of this. There's no Zerg. The one in a million Zerg that's going to proxy hatch you or something like that. Let them do it and just give them the free win. Don't worry about it because you have no chance of seeing anything move across the map with this. There's literally zero chance of you seeing anything moving across the map until it is too late. So I think you've been saying in the chat you're struggling versus 12 pool. This is why. Because you have no idea it's coming until it's already coming. What the fuck is this though? Is he building a spine? It's like a proxy spine too. Nah, I don't think we want to drag drones off because it's going to kill our minerals. We're not. Yeah, we didn't A-move for a good chunk of that. We've got lings coming. Just let the lings handle it. You've got no money. You aren't A-moving. You're literally just... Okay. Because what does this do for him? Gives him some creep. He might be able to build a queen from it. But he's got no drones on the way that I can see. He's just slowly flooding lings, right? He's not building a queen at home. This foothold gives him nothing of any significant value. And yet, what are we actually doing with our drones? I don't understand. How are you not just A-moving them? So they're on A-move now. You've attack moved one Zergling. This is why you'll... Oh my god. You don't know how to attack move. You accidentally did then. And that was the cleanest fight. Okay, so when you have units selected and you want to attack one unit, you can A and click on them, or you can right click on them. If you want to just have your units be aggressive and attack whatever's in range, then you just grab them, press A and click somewhere on the ground, and they will move to that spot while looking for aggression, you know what I mean? So if they spot something they can fight, they will fight it. What you did then was horrible because you were taking extra damage that you didn't need to take while also sacrificing your lings. You've got Queen here doing absolutely jack shit. 2 drones mining gas that we're not going to need because we've only got 3 drones on gas. And right now we're behind on drones. We're going to lose another bunch of drones here. We're not even microing the drones. The drones are just standing here. So the ling flood has stopped. And again, I don't understand what this is supposed to achieve. I legitimately don't understand what this is supposed to do. He's not droning behind us either, so what is he looking at? He could just be droning during this time, because you are so far behind. So incredibly far behind.
Our forces are under attack. The Hive cluster is under attack.
We've not done our injects. Like, we've missed 2 rounds of injects. Everything is fucked. And so... we can barely kill it. this is going to be all downhill from here. Luckily, your opponent does not know how to make drones, but now he is. You're making a pair of lings because you don't know what's coming across the map still. You have no idea. Look, this is too late for you to see this. You can't react to zerglings in your natural. The fact that he's brought them here and they're just standing there as well is so funny to me. You wouldn't need to build this spine if you just had an overlord here and you could see him moving out. You wouldn't be down 7 workers right now if you'd have just waited for your lings and let your queens take care of it. Why are we moving up here? He's not going to get in again because you have creep. He's not. As a matter of fact, how did he get that in? I bet you he got that in because your overlord, yep. Your overlord was over here. Instead of crossing the map, you probably would have seen the drone come across the map, would have given you an idea of what was happening, and instead, now we're in this hellscape of a game where you're paranoid about some proxy hatch appearing out of nowhere. If your opponent had any idea what he was doing, he'd already be on like 30 drones behind that. Luckily he doesn't. You're on 300 gas even though you have no use for it. So what you want to do here, just a little bit of like DPS assistance, right? The lings have 10 DPS each. These lings only have 35 health each, so they don't last long, right? There's like, what, 165 DPS, HP here. So what you'd want to do, if you can, is get the lings aggroed onto the queen first. The queen doesn't do a lot of damage by herself, but she does a lot more damage when there's 2 lings helping her. So if these 5 lings try and make a move for the queen, then all you need to do is just bring the lings up behind it and they'll add heaps of damage. You're killing any chance of you ever winning this game by literally just making lings behind this. This is a simple A move fix. And again, we still have no idea what he's doing. He could be taking a 3rd base now. This is wild. You have ling speed, they look awful fast, but that might just be... Yeah, that's just because I'm playing it a few times. So you got this scout off, but this probably didn't tell you anything. And now you probably have slightly more lings, but not for long, and you're dead. And you just lost all those lings. If your opponent ever has like a similar amount in a ZvZ, if your opponent ever has a similar amount, and they're also at their base, so you're attacking into them, it's not worth the fight unless you know what, it's just not worth the fight. It's literally not worth the fight. I'm gonna fast forward a bit here because I feel like this might take a while. He's getting carapace and melee, which is good. I think he got ling speed as well, and GG. That's it. So the reason you're struggling versus this is, number 1, your overlord pathing make no sense. In ZVT, I don't really mind it going to the 3rd for proxies. My first one goes straight across the map though, so I can see if it's a Rax or whatever, if it's Reaper. The next one is coming down to the 3rd, scanning the other 3rd, and then coming back to here. This is right. In ZvZ, my first one is heading straight across, and my second overlord's going here. Because if they're going to Lingbane bust you or whatever, you want to give yourself as much warning of that, and they're not going to morph the Banes in vision, so ideally the further your overlord is out, the more vision you have, the more time you have as well, because you're forcing them to make it further away. There was no winning this from a very early point, honestly. I think your opponent just had a better game plan. He was executing. He's up on workers because you made a bunch of slowlings and threw them away. All these could have been drones, and your drones just weren't mining for for a lot of that early game. Like a lot. So I still understand what the point of this is, unless the idea is to get your attention and get you to pull the drones, because if you pull half your workers this early in the game, you're losing like 350 minerals per minute. So if this distracts you for just 1 minute, he's actually ahead more than the cost of the hatchery is just. But also, the risk is that you just literally do not react to it well enough and fumble, and like you did, just like move drones into it to intercept and then just stand there. So there's heaps of things that can go wrong with that, and this little trick here has literally set him up to win the game. You have lings on the way, you have queens on the way. This has no business happening. And so this is right? This overlord got back at 2 minutes. This is 2 minutes. Your first overlord should have been over here already, and you would have run into this trying to cross the map, and you would have seen the drone trying to cross the map. So this overlord pathing in ZvZ makes no sense. Send it straight across. Unless it's torches or whatever that has the mains like here and here. I bring mine up to the very edge of the ramp and then go straight down, because that is the quickest path from one base to the next where you can see the ground. Right? If your overlord dives from here to here, you're not going to see anything crossing the map. You need to see stuff crossing the map in ZvZ. You can count his lava spending. You can figure out where he should be based off that. So here we go again, right? So just to break this down again, we bring everything up and we try and attack this ling here. We're all trying to attack this ling here, which means all these lings are getting free damage, because the drones are not being told to attack anything in the area. They're being told to attack this ling because they can't reach it. It's making your DPS really slow. You killed this one, you popped it, and drones are naturally passive by default, right? They will not take a fight unless you tell them. And what's really interesting is you can use this to your advantage sometimes, where if you get ling flooded and it's just a little bit amount of lings, but it's enough to like pop your queen really quickly, you can grab all your drones, right click on the queen, and then hold position. And what that'll do is, because they're passive, the lings won't automatically attack them unless they attack back. So if you don't want your workers to die versus like lings, don't attack them back. Because as soon as you attack them back, you make them a much easier target. If there's like spines or queens in the way, it makes the drones, I don't know how the computer recognizes it, but the instant they're like A moved, the lings are like, yep, let's go, and we'll kill these as well. So in this case, you severely overwhelm the lings here. You just aren't actually attacking until it's so late. And then again, we need to get back into this. You are making, I don't even want to try and do the maths here, but you're making like 10% of what you should be making at this stage of the game. In your grand scheme, like this is how far you are behind, right? He's not really spending his money. He built 2 hatcheries ages ago and hasn't really spent any more money since. So this is how far you are behind now. You're 500 odd minerals down from where you could be, simply because of how poorly you handle this. Just A move the drones. Just A move. So grab them, press the A button, and click on the ground. Do not click on a unit. If you click on a unit, you will what's that thing called? It will attack them. I think I had a turn I beat. Yesterday. This is a good example of, I think this is this one, because he left very quick. Built his. He was late with his racks too. We went CC first. Nah, this wasn't the same dude. I played against a Terran the other day who was facing a proxy hatch, and then at some point he just like A moved. He tried to A move me. A moved his. I reckon it might be. Maybe it was him. I feel like it was on the bottom side of the map though. But he tried to A-move me, A-moved his own barracks, and started shooting it down. Which is obviously less than ideal, right? So we just need to be careful that when we're A-moving, we're not A-moving onto something. We are A-moving where we need to be. Maybe it was this one. Yeah. At some point he's A-moved and he's like, he's made this so much easier for me. The amount of DPS these dudes are doing, even the SCVs are attacking them. So that alone has added a lot of DPS to this, and that's going to make this an easy kill. And then we get inside the base, blah, 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 blah. So make sure when you're doing it, you're trying to get it away. You can even use the minimap, so you could like grab the units and then A-move and then click on the minimap anywhere that's in the rough direction, and they will just start A-moving. You can grab them and literally like A-move right next to one of them. Just make sure you're not clicking on yourself, on them, because that's exactly what's going to happen. They're gonna fumble real hard. So yeah, that hopefully that helps. That pull, that hatchery that he did, there was no threat there. There was no need to react. The reaction you had was incredibly bad. No offense, it was just obviously that shows that you don't quite understand how to interact with the units yet. So hopefully now that you know how to A-move, these games are going to get a lot easier, especially when you're playing a swarm army like Zerg. You don't want to be right-clicking individual units. I can't imagine how your other games go if you're doing that in this scenario. So yeah, fingers crossed for you that it gets better from here.